Hi, folks. Welcome to Crisco's Corner. Hi, folks. Welcome back. And those of you that are new, welcome. From the Daily Mail. Woke MSNBC loses 33% of primetime audience during coverage of the Israeli-Hamas war as it insists on publishing a joint death toll, while Fox and CNN, oddly enough, see double-digit increases on viewing figures. Yeah, those viewer figures were between October 7th and 10th, which saw the outbreak of the war between Israel and Hamas terrorists. See, Daily Mail has no problem calling them terrorists, neither does the New York Post. By comparison, the shocking event saw a leap in Fox's news audience, up 42%. In CNN's coverage, which saw a 17% rise in viewers. Now, there's a lot of conservative people that are pretty pissed at Fox News for the last year or so and what happened with Tucker Carlson and the rest. But the fact of the matter is, this is hard news. And those people that are pissed at Fox over politics went back to see the hard news from Fox. Even Jake Tapper said the other day, you can see a video that I did. He even said maybe we're seeing what a lot of the progressive Democrats are really like with their anti-Israel, pro-terrorist protests. That's Jake Tapper. Let's read on. Woke news broadcaster MSNBC lost 33% of its primetime viewing during its coverage of the Hamas-Israeli war. Well done, people. The outlet's viewers figures were down 24% overall for the 4 days between October 7th and 10th, which saw the outbreak of the war between Israel and Hamas. By comparison, the shocking event saw a leap in Fox's audience and CNN's coverage. Yep. Oh, here we go. Dylan Mulvaney wins Attitude Magazine of the Year award. Anyway, I digress. These numbers tell you a lot about MSNBC, which excels at Trump-era liberal therapy, but can't match others during global historic events. Puck media reporter Dylan Byers wrote, more than 1,000 Israelis have been killed by Hamas attacks, and 1,100 people have been killed by Israeli counterstrikes on Gaza. Unlike the other outlets, MSNBC is insistent on publishing a joint death toll. Now, I believe the Israeli total. In fact, it might even be low. I definitely don't believe the Hamas, or the people that were killed in Gaza. Probably half of that. But well, we're going to find out eventually. Maybe not. This is what's stunning here. This is an interview with Andrea Mitchell. She was interviewing an Israeli mother whose two sons, 12 and 16, were kidnapped from their beds by Hamas terrorists. Was visibly annoyed when asked how she felt about Israelis' counterstrikes in Gaza. You have to be kidding me, right? You can't be that effing ridiculous. And there's a correspondent for Fox News. I saw him a few times. He does a good job. I wish they would stop saying Hamas militants and say Hamas terrorists, and there's a picture there. They're moving some bodies from a kibbutz that was attacked by Hamas terrorists. MSNBC has come under fire for its coverage of the autocracies in Israel as an Israeli mother whose two sons were taken hostage by Hamas, exploding at MSNBC's Andrea Mitchell on Tuesday night when asked how she feels about Israelis' counterstrikes in Gaza. Her two sons, aged 12 and 16, were kidnapped by Hamas. Became visibly irritated, you'd think, when Mitchell asked her feelings on the attacks in Gaza. And this is exactly what she should have said. I can't be sympathetic anymore. I can't be sympathetic to animal human beings. Well, they're not really human beings who came into my house, broke everything, stole everything, took my children from their beds, and took them to the Gaza Strip. Now, I've seen some reports and seen some videos and some stills. Picture of a family of 5 standing in front of their house. Picture next to it is them laying in body bags in the exact same spot in front of their house, all dead. By contrast, Fox News reporter Trey Yinst has won praise for his fearless coverage of the shocking scenes unfolding in the Middle East. The Israeli Defense Force took reporters, including Fox's crew, the Be'eri, I believe it's pronounced, just 3 miles from the Gaza border on Tuesday. The kibbutz, once known as an artistic and farming community of 200 people, but on Saturday was overrun by Hamas terrorists who attacked with grenades, guns, and knives. The Israelis might want to reconsider their gun ownership policy after this. They don't have a Second Amendment like we do. And in fact, there's a report where one female Israeli soldier happened to be there when they attacked, and she issued guns to the people in the immediate vicinity. Now the Hamas terrorists were gunned down, and not one Israeli was hurt. So Israeli government, take note. Unbelievable. The site was not declared safe for outsiders until Tuesday. All the bodies of Israeli victims had been removed. But the burnt and mangled corpse of Hamas fighters was still lying in heaps on the outskirts of the kibbutz. And there's a picture of a part of western Gaza on Tuesday. You know what? F around and find out. Now, I'm going to make a comparison here. The bombing of Berlin at the end of World War II. Not every German citizen was a Nazi. Not every German citizen was an evil piece of crap. But the people in charge were. The people that ran their government, their military, were. I see this as the same. Is it terrible that children and innocent people are being killed in Gaza? But that's the government they have. They should have got them out a long time ago. And you see a picture there, a destroyed home, a kibbutz. And there's another one. The smell was stomach-churning, reporters said. And the Fox News correspondent, Trey Yitz, took viewers inside one of the bullet-scarred and blood-coated homes. You can see the floors are stained with blood, he said. It was Saturday morning around 7 a.m. when militants stormed this village. I wish they would say terrorists. You can see the weapons they brought with them, extra ammunition, bullet holes in the side of the house, and knives on the floor. He said the commentary was littered, the community was littered with bodies. It is completely destroyed. It looks like some of the buildings were hit with RPGs, explosives. He said that he came across beds covered in blood where residents had been murdered in their beds. The IDF says some of the victims were beheaded. How can you have sympathy for people like that? I mean, anybody, honest to God, I don't care if you think Israel is 100% wrong for how they treated the Palestinian people in the last 50-odd years. There's absolutely zero sympathy for anybody that does that. He described it as hell on earth, describing the scene as the most horrifying he had witnessed in his career reporting around the world. And I'm sure he's seen a lot of crap. He joined Fox 5 years ago. Yeah, and there's a reporter there for CNN. Actually, I saw that video. It was pretty well done. I got to give it to her. And they talk about the coverage. The coverage was broadcast by Jake Tapper, their mainstay there. The one the other day said, looks like a lot of progressive Democrats are anti-Semites and racist for what's going on now. I got to give them that. And she also won platitudes for her bravery, the reporter there, Clarissa Ward. And you can read the rest of it here. I'm just going to buzz through it. How she was at ground zero and how her team, and there she is there. I'll give her kudos for that. There is a fake video going around that where they say people are talking on her ear to fake the whole thing, but that ended up being fake. CNN is really garbage. You don't need to make stuff up. In fact, let's go on the picture here of the Fox News reporter. So there it is. MSNBC down 33%. Fox is way up. Now, this is their coverage of the war. Unfortunately, bad things like this get clicks. In the old days, you used to say sell newspapers, but now it's clicks and streaming and all those things that increase ratings. It's incredibly sad, but the Israelis are coming. They finally went too far. if that's even possible. They've gone too far for decades, Hamas has. They are finally, even Egypt won't take them. See, here's the thing. Of all the hundreds of thousands of refugees over the years in Palestine, supposedly pushed out and apartheided by the Israeli people, why haven't the rest of the Arab world taken some of these refugees in? Very little. In fact, Egypt closed their border because Gaza borders on the northeastern corner of Egypt. Egypt closed their borders so they can't get in. They don't want those people there either. So when your own people, i.e. Arabs and people of the same Islamic faith, don't want you, there's got to be a good damn reason. A good reason to turn away people of the same faith, which they take incredibly seriously and should. Even they won't take them. It's amazing to me how anybody can still side with Palestine. Can you side with the innocent people? Yeah. But they're caught in the middle of something. Hamas has gone just bloodthirsty barbarian. It's incredible to me. This is stuff you read about in history books from the Middle Ages. I don't even think the Nazis did that. They might have at a smaller scale, but it's amazing to me. I don't see Hamas's strategy here. I really and truly don't. To turn people that were somewhat sympathetic to your side totally against you, not totally against you in their hearts and minds, but totally against you publicly. Even the spineless Joe Biden and the incoherent dope Vice President Harris, even they said it was despicable and disgusting after they've sympathized with you privately. You really screwed the pooch on this one, as the old test pilots used to say. You effed up. You effed around, and now you're going to find out. Just the reservists alone for Israel are 300,000. That's not even counting their regular army. And as we all know, military service is mandatory in Israel for men and women. The everyday civilian that's over 30 years old is very familiar how to use weapons and has had military training for at least 2 years. So you know what? There's an old saying in the South of the United States. Don't kick a fresh turd on a hot day. And you did. You effed around. And now what's coming is going to be beyond measure. Until the next time, God bless, goodbye, and good luck.